It's Catilia here from Switching Up Styles, located in the beautiful West Shore Plaza, and I'm going places with Ricc Rollins. You should come along too.
Thanks a lot, Catilia. And if you ever need anything that's just amazing and a little bit different, you can always find it at Switching Up Styles. I hope your morning's amazing. Welcome to this edition of Going Places. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Kiva Williams and Priscilla Connors join us to talk about an event that will celebrate finer womanhood, and it's perfect for Women's Herstory Month. The Outdoorsy Diva takes us to Cow Creek Farm, and we'll meet some of the most cuddly and cute cows you've ever seen. We'll go crafting with Karima, and this week's craft will honor National Tulips Day. You don't want to miss it. And our pet vet, Dr. Naboohie's back, and we continue our conversation about pets and poison prevention. All of this and more, starting right now. You know Kiva Williams, you know Priscilla, because she's been our business spotlight of the week. These two divas of business and enterprise are here to talk about an upcoming event that they have that is celebrating women. So, Kiva, jump in.
Yes, we came together to celebrate Business Women Who Brunch. I reached out to Priscilla. She's the owner of Eggs Up Grill. You know, I'm a food blogger, and I said, hey, I need to fundraise. How can we collaborate together to bring women together in the community in a fun way, but also for a good cause? So she was on board from the beginning, and that's how we launched Business Women Who Brunch. Yeah.
And it's Women's Herstory Month, so I think it's an appropriate time to celebrate finer womanhood and all that these women do. It gives them an opportunity to come together and to network. Priscilla, why did you think from moment one, I need to be a part of this?
You know, just because the camaraderie that the community has with women in business is just absolutely amazing. And that's definitely our mantra: women, community, connection, and collaboration. And that is something that really just gets my juices flowing. So I was very elated to be a part of it.
And we're glad you are. So Kiva, what can the people that are coming expect?
We want to make sure our networking event is
other than good food.
Yeah, listen, we want to make sure that people are getting something out of it. There's so many networking events happening, but we want to network with a purpose. So that's why we bring women leaders in the community, and we have people there with all different backgrounds. It's a very diverse group. We want to make sure that we're imparting some good information into these women that they can go forth and grow their business.
And so, Priscilla, you have now been Eggs Up is 2 years.
We are 2 years old now.
2 years old now. And so you have cut your teeth. You're now rooted and grounded. So I'm sure that you meet people all the time that are wanting to start a business but don't know how. I tell people, get around people who already are in business, because they're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat it, because I'll be the first one to say, girl, we make it look easy. It's not, in that process. So what are you hoping that the women that come together will glean from this?
It is my hope and prayer that the women that attend the conference just really have a business bestie, number one, be able to meet someone there that they have never met before, or they would not have otherwise have met without attending the events, and to just continue to build their own networking and their own personal growth as they continue their entrepreneurial journey.
So you'll be planting seeds, in other words, and watching them grow throughout. That's it. It's about planting those seeds. Kiva, you not only are you the fun foodie mama, but and a mama and a wife and a sis. It's all you have a lot of things going on. So I think that teaching women how to balance is really one of your fortes. So is that what can are there going to be people there this weekend that are going to share, look, girl, this is how you do this?
We're going to have people there from all different backgrounds. We have a guest speaker. Her name is Quinn Brewington. She's going to share her journey of being a corporate.
Love Quinn.
Yes, she's amazing. She's been on your show. She's going to share her corporate background, but also her love of entrepreneurship and how she merged the two. We're going to have people there from the news, from small business networks that are going to share resources that they can take away that day and go ahead and use in their business. So it's just a very good collaborative community. that we are just growing and we love it.
That's important. That's really important. So tell me more about the cost for this event.
So it's a $50 fee.
Mm-hmm.
Part of a portion of the proceeds are going to benefit a local nonprofit. We have Blazing Stars Montessori. It's a new school that opened by two women. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
be there, and we're going to share some of our resources with them, monetary resources, because we are all about imparting, but also helping other people along the way. So we want to make sure that
Right.
we're doing our part with, financially helping a nonprofit.
Okay, that's a great thing. It's all, meeting with networking with a purpose is always a great thing. Networking for networking is been done. Like
Yeah.
you said earlier, you want people to leave with something. And it's so imperative. I took a friend of mine recently, and what I said to him is, how many business cards do you have? He told me how many. I said, you need to leave with only 10% of what you came with. And he only had 2 business cards left, so he did better than he was going to do. But my whole point was that you can't just come here and eat the people food.
Right.
You need to make sure that it has a purpose. And when you pay for it, you really better get something out of it. And like you said, there's a portion of the proceeds are going towards building a business. I mean,
Yes.
I wish somebody had said, hello, we're gonna hold something for you and in order to help grow your business. So that's wonderful that you're doing this. Can you tell me more about the Montessori?
Yeah, so it's actually located in Dade City. It's
Okay.
and I was able to watch the lady who started it. She started from just an idea. She was a school teacher. She wanted something better for her kids. So she said, hey, I'm going to open up a school. And she loved the Montessori method. And I just love her determination because she said it. It took her 2-3 years, but now she has a brick and mortar. So she did it. So I love this to show people that you can have an idea and you can watch it like be implemented. So it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wonderful thing. Like you said, it's them seeing other women who sit in that room who have done it, that they know they can now rely on. That's important. Priscilla being the perfect example. I mean, every time I say Riverview, they say, well, child, I know you're going to say Eggs Up Grill. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you eat there all the time? I'm like, never been yet. One day I passed by and I was like, ooh, I wish I had time to stop.
You gotta
But
come.
my daughter's been there, and I was like, did you tell them that I was your daddy? She's like, no. I said, girl. But anyway, she came representing the family. So, Priscilla, if you had to give one piece of advice to a woman that is starting business, since we're talking Women's History Month, what would you say would be the solid piece of advice that you stand on day in and day out?
I would say just keep your eye on the prize. Nothing will come easy. It's definitely a lot of hard work. We have tons of sleepless nights and early mornings, but as long as you keep your eye on the prize and you know what your end goal is, you can definitely do it.
That's it. Kiva, same question.
I would say just never give up. I mean, I know that there's, social media makes everything look like it happened overnight. Please know that people are putting in their time, their tears, their effort. I mean, it's a lot of behind the scenes. So don't get persuaded by just seeing people showing their highlight reel on social media. You just got to keep going and don't give up. If you believe in what you have to offer, you can't give up. Got to keep going.
Girl, you just said a mouthful. I don't know if you realize you said it. These people who show their BTSs and it looks so fabulous, and they're showing you the good stuff. Right. They ain't showing you the fact that the balloons all popped and you had to go buy more. You had to use that good credit card. They're not showing you all of that. So again, let's tell them how they can find out about the brunch. We're going to bring up the QR code, but going to tell them one more time for the people in the back.
Yeah, so March 16th, next Thursday, we're going to be in Riverview, Florida at Eggs Up Grill from 10 to 12 p.m. Please follow us on social media, Business Women Who Brunch Tampa.
Okay, so Priscilla, we got any specials this weekend so the people will be watching this at 8 o'clock in the morning?
You know what? We're open every single day from 6 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. So come on down to Eggs Up Grill and get your mimosa.
Okay, yes. And you know what? We need to do a Goin Places special. We're going to have to figure out what that is, okay? I love it. I love it. Thank you for being with us. I look forward to hearing how successful this is. Again, thank you for joining us, Kiva. Thank you for being here, Priscilla. More Goin Places right after this. So people often ask me what Going Places is all about. It's really about the people, not only of the Tampa Bay area, but beyond. I'm always amazed with the stories of the people who are making a difference from where they've come to where they're going and even where they are now. Sometimes they'll encourage you. Sometimes they'll empower you. Sometimes they'll even entertain you. But the big thing that we all have in common is we're going places and we all want to go along. Welcome back to this edition of Going Places. Our outdoorsy diva joins us now, and she's got a story that's gonna move you right along. Take a look.
Hi, it's Lauren Gay, Outdoorsy Diva, and I am here at Cow Creek Farm in Plant City, home of the beautiful, fluffy Highland cows. Come along with me for this adventure. Cow Creek Farm in Plant City is a 15-acre family-run farm. They have an event facility as well as animals that you can interact with. The main attraction are the adorable, fluffy Highland cows. The calves are so sweet and friendly. They come right up to you. You can get feed and then you can feed them and pet them and interact with them. While the fluffy cows are definitely the star of the show, the farm has other animals as well. There's goats, and donkeys. Farmer Nate gives a tour with the group of the farm, and you learn lots about all of the animals and their jobs on the farms. The alpacas aren't just for looking cute and providing their fluffy coats, but they are also good for being the farm's alarm clock to alert the farm of danger. But the primary alarm system is the donkeys. After the brief farm tour, it's time for the hayride. It's a nice scenic short drive down to the large pasture where the adult Highland cows graze. The Highland cow breed actually originated in Scotland. They are known for being extremely docile and friendly towards humans, and some people have even been known to keep them as pets. The cows know when they see the tractor pulling up, it's snack time. The farm provides you with a huge bucket of snacks that the cows love to nibble on. And don't worry, these are like Tic Tacs for them, so we're not messing up their diet. On the way back to the farm, we got a glimpse of the beautiful resident Mustang that they have adopted. After your tour, you're free to come back and interact with the rest of the animals. A visit to Cow Creek Farms is a great way to spend a Saturday morning. It's definitely family and kid friendly, but you do have to make reservations ahead of time.
I found that utterly fascinating, didn't you? See what I did there? Now here's Karima with her craft of the week.
Thanks, Rick. March 12th is National Plant a Flower Day, so we're going to make some tulips.
To get started, you'll need paper, glue, scissors, paint, and recycled cardboard. To create the tulips, you'll need to add a few drops of paint to white cardstock. I suggest using different shades of the same color, or you can mix it up. Cut a square shape from the recycled cardboard, then scrape the paint across the white cardstock. Move in different directions, but try not to scrape the paper more than 5 times. Now it's time to create the leaves for your tulips. I use my cutting machine, however you can draw yours on green cardstock. Once you're finished, cut them out using your scissors, then glue them on your jumbo craft stick. I used my cutting machine to cut out a tulip, then traced it onto the scrape painted cardstock. However, you can draw yours using a pencil. Use scissors to cut out the tulips. Finally, add glue to your craft stick, then glue this tulip on top.
I hope you enjoyed crafting with me today. You can find more spring ideas at craftingafunlife.com. If you're looking for a book to learn more about different flowers, I suggest Flower Alphabet. You can also buy a kit from your local store and plant with your family. Back to you, Rick.
When we come back, we continue our conversation with Dr. Nabuki about pets and poisons as Going Places continues right after this. So people often ask me what Going Places is all about. It's really about the people, not only of the Tampa Bay area, but beyond. I'm always amazed with the stories of the people who are making a difference from where they've come to where they're going and even where they are now. Sometimes they'll encourage you. Sometimes they'll empower you. Sometimes they'll even entertain you. But the big thing that we all have in common is we're going places and we all want to go along. Welcome back to this edition of Going Places, the pet vet. Dr. Nabuki's in the house, and we've got a friend with us today. Yeah. Oreo, of course, you would decide to show your butt to the people. Okay, let's see. Okay, welcome back to this edition of Going Places. Dr. Nabuki's back in the house, and we're talking about pet prevention. We started this conversation on last week, and we wanted to continue it because we wanted to go a little bit more into detail. Okay, so take it away, Dr. Nabuki.
So, as you know, there's obviously a long list of things that are poisonous for pets. Mm-hmm. Some of the most common things that we run into in the house, as far as inside, are plants. People don't think about it, mm-hmm. but lilies are quite toxic.
Are we talking about the lily itself, or the little, what is it? The
any part of it.
Any part
any
of it.
Part
okay.
of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So usually the dried leaves are actually the worst. They're the worst part of it. Yeah. Because now all the moisture's out, so all that's left is the toxin that's in there.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and everyone gets lilies. Everyone loves lilies.
Yes.
But they're especially poisonous.
Especially with Easter coming up. So that's one of the things that we have to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. That's important. Okay.
But for cats, they can cause renal damage or kidney damage.
Wow.
For dogs, they can cause GI upset. Okay. Another plant that a lot of people have is aloe. Mm-hmm. Okay. If they eat that, it can also cause a lot of GI upset. Yep, as well. So good for wounds. However, if it's ingested, it can definitely cause some issues. Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought of that because aloe is supposed to be good for us,
mm-hmm.
but it's dangerous for. Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
So those are the inside plants.
Okay.
Now some of the inside food that we have to worry about. Number one is chocolate. Everybody usually knows.
Of course, the chocolate. Yeah,
yep, chocolate. It's a no-no because the caffeine and stuff in it can cause some heart issues. Mm-hmm. But I mean, garlic, onions.
Really?
Yeah, they can actually cause damage to the red blood cells themselves. Yeah, yeah. So, some people think, oh, I'm cooking, I just want to give them a little bit, because it does taste good when it's cooked with other things. Mm-hmm. However, nope, don't give garlic or onions to your pets.
No garlic, no onions. You heard that? I don't care how good it may be. No and no. Okay.
Yeah. And another thing that people love to give or eat themselves is grapes and raisins. Raisins being dehydrated grapes. Yeah. Now, you can't give that to animals as well because, again, it can cause kidney damage. And that really depends. Some people are like, okay, so if they eat one grape, is that going to kill them? And I'm like, no. Like, it really depends on the size of the animal. Obviously, a lab is going to be able to handle or tolerate more than a little dog.
One grape.
Okay. So
how about let's just no grapes?
No grapes.
Okay,
no
that way
grapes.
you don't have to worry about this.
No
okay,
grapes.
but you're saying based on size, so
Yeah.
a Chihuahua or something smaller.
They're going to be a lot more sensitive to it than a bigger dog like a lab. Okay. Still means you shouldn't give it.
Right.
But if it falls off the table
and they grab it,
you have a little more leeway with the larger breeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what if they do ingest this? What happens? What should we do?
So you want to call your vet. Number one, call your vet. Okay.
Nabuki. He's got your vet. He should be.
Yeah. And then usually we recommend, if it just happened, you get in right away because oftentimes, depending on what they've ingested, most of the time it's in their stomach and we can make them throw it up.
Okay.
So then you can get rid of all that toxin and prevent everything that occurs afterwards.
Okay. Checking on our residents here in the cat condo.
One's right here in this little hideaway here. Oh, we're playing with the toy though. Playing with the toy.
Okay.
But yeah, no, give your vet a call. We're most likely going to recommend that you come in, do an exam, see if we can't make them vomit. If it's been in there for a while, there are still things that we can do, such as giving fluids or actually giving what we refer to as liquid charcoal that can actually help to absorb some of the toxins before the body absorbs it themselves.
A couple of weeks ago, we talked about, and I thought about this while you were talking about that's inside. But when we were talking about walking your dog, or walking your dog, because most people don't walk their cats.
Yeah.
But walking their dogs, that there were things that we need to be careful of. So I would ask the same question. While we're walking our pet, should we be mindful of outdoor plants and other things outdoors? What would you say?
So absolutely, foregoing potential the poisonous toxicity issues, let alone foreign bodies. So if they eat something outside, it can get stuck in their intestines.
Wow.
But if they eat like seeds, like acorns or sago palm seeds, those are highly toxic to them, especially to dogs, because they can actually digest them and turn it into cyanide, which is heavily poisonous to animals and humans.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So when you're walking them, you definitely have to watch out what they're eating, what they're nibbling on, stuff like that.
Okay. Now I told you about one of my neighbor's cats who loved to present things. So he would present lizards and he presents rats. So what about animals like that?
So yes. So a lot of those, like
I guess they're animals. Okay.
Yeah, like lizards, skinks. They're very shiny because they usually have some type of toxin or coating on their body that's going to irritate their mouth, or it's going to irritate the intestines if they eat them. Also, a lot of the rodents carry a lot of parasites. So if they eat it, it's going to cause some issues as well internally. Another big thing outside that we usually see, and you'll hear it at nighttime, especially in Florida, is a bufo toad.
That's those big toads.
They're huge, and they go, "Rrr." They make this really big noise. And if a dog,
what do you say again?
If a dog gets a hold of it, it will not only irritate their mouth, but it can actually cause them to go into a seizure. Like it's really bad. So if you see them holding one of these big toads, immediately pull it out of their mouth and get them in to see your vet, because we have to take care of that, get it all off.
Wow.
Yeah, and get them taken care of. So yeah, that's one of the big things out there is that bufo toad. You really got to watch out for it.
Wow.
One more thing I thought of outside that, we're like, it's pretty, are mushrooms.
Right.
Which are everywhere.
Okay.
Fungi, they're generally our friends. However, do not let your pets eat that stuff outside. It's usually not edible mushrooms, and that can make them very loopy, and again, have a lot of GI issues like diarrhea or vomiting.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and does it cause them to hallucinate as well, or?
Depending on which ones they eat, yeah, it will. Whether they eat a mushroom outside that has these toxic potentials, or
if we go back inside.
If we go back inside, and let's say they happen to eat recreational medications or herbal supplements, we'll say, if they eat those in a high enough concentration, it can really affect them and
you said you've seen this before.
Oh, I've seen it. Oh yeah, the dog will come in and you can usually tell because they just look
like,
stoned.
woof,
They're just
man.
like, whoa, they're already on a trip.
It's like, woof.
Yeah.
Woof, man. Hey, Dr. Nabuki.
So make sure if you have stuff in the house that's whether it's your prescriptions or your recreational prescriptions or herbal supplements, put them away so that your pet does not get into it.
You bring up a good question. You talked about prescriptions, and I guess we're talking medical marijuana, but what if they got into say for instance, your actual medications.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I have a high blood pressure pill that I take.
Yep.
Are those things we should worry about too?
Oh, absolutely. Because again,
because I have a cat that can get a pill in a pill box in a minute.
Yeah, and the cat is a lot smaller,
Mm-hmm.
so the effect is going to be a lot greater on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, if you're on high blood pressure medication, they eat that. Odds are that's going to cause them to have a lot of issues if they had
Wow,
overdosed with it.
So not only should we
Yeah.
be careful with our kids,
Mhm.
but our pet kids as well. Okay.
Yeah, child-proof and pet-proof your house.
Okay. So last piece of advice when we're talking about prevention for our pets.
So, being very conscientious of your surroundings, of your house. Don't just leave stuff lying around.
Mhm.
Don't feel like if I'm eating something, I can necessarily just give it to the pet. You know, if you're on a walk outside, be aware of where they're walking, because at the last second, they're going to scoop something up in the house. They're going to scoop something up outside. So just watch them, you know, just like you would a child when you're walking them. Just watch them, make sure they're not getting into trouble.
Okay.
That's it.
And so if anything happens, one, call your vet.
Yeah, call your vet.
Okay. Is there anything they can do in the meantime? Like if they think that the cat has ingested something, can you start to flush or should you just wait and get to...
Usually I say, you know, number one, have one person, you know, call in the vet and you should be heading to the car. But in the interim, if you're like, oh my gosh, I can grab something on the way, you know, like a wet washcloth, if they just ate something, go ahead and wipe their mouth
Okay.
off with it. That's
Okay.
totally fine because you're going to help get some of that irritant off. But yeah, the best thing is just to get there as quickly as you
As
can to your
possible.
vet.
Well, as always, Dr. Wookie, you've been informative. We thank you and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Well, we're almost out of time. Before we go, I want to remind you, of course, that you can always catch us in encore episodes every Saturday and Sunday morning at 5 a.m. You can also catch us on YouTube if you miss us on more. For everyone here at Going Places, be blessed on your journey. Until next time, take care.